This is Mac OS Ken.
Crazy numbers from Counterpoint Research. South Korea is open for Apple Pay, and the Kremlin has it in for iPhone. It is Tuesday, the 21st of March, 2023. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/MacOSKen. Two crazy data points from Counterpoint Research. Number one, sales of premium smartphones, that's smartphones that cost $600 or more, made up more than half of global smartphone revenue in 2022. Crazy point number two, Apple's share of the global premium smartphone market in 2022 was 75%. On the first point, Counterpoint says premium smartphone sales climbed 1% in 2022, though smartphones as a whole dropped 12%. Sounds like a total haves and have-nots thing. Quoting Counterpoint, despite the tough market conditions in 2022, affluent consumers were more immune to the macroeconomic difficulties than customers from the lower end. Consequently, sales in the premium market grew, while those in the entry and mid-tier segments declined. In fairness, that's only part of the equation, though. Counterpoint argues that more buyers who can are willing to spend more on premium models. That's partly due to the more central role smartphones play in people's lives, and partly due to knowing they can hold on to premium phones for a longer stretch. The way the firm sees it, that kind of thinking is one of the reasons the $1,000 and above price segment was the fastest growing, 38% year over year in 2022. Focusing in on Apple, sales of iPhone models over $600 grew 6% in Counterpoint's estimation. That gave the Cupertino company 3/4 of the world's premium smartphone share. When is that figure a depressing one? When one considers what might have been. Apple could have grown more, notes Counterpoint, if not for the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max supply disruption during the peak holiday season in 2022. iPhone's dominance of the premium space seems unlikely to give way anytime soon. The stickiness of the iOS ecosystem, plus Apple's aspirational brand value and step-by-step expansion, are likely to stand it in good stead. That said, Counterpoint thinks iPhone may cede some ground this year, with premium foldable Android phones anticipated in 2023. An event 5 or 6 years in the making. After a plan that reportedly began in 2017, a piece from Mac Rumors says Apple Pay has finally gone live in South Korea. In fairness to Apple, the company moved fairly quickly, once it was allowed to move at all. According to the report, the Cupertino company was unable to be registered as an electronic financial business operator because regulators were investigating whether Apple Pay violated local regulations and laws. That hurdle was cleared in the early part of February, and now, here we are. Or, there they are. The question, will Apple Pay adoption open a flood or a trickle? A number of reports, including one from the Korea Times, points to a lack of NFC and point-of-sale terminals. According to that report, the service still faces significant challenges in Korea due to the limited number of stores equipped with NFC terminals. Currently, below 10% of the credit card member stores in Korea are equipped with the necessary infrastructure. Okay, but we may want to check back in a few weeks. The same piece from the Korea Times says several major retailers in Korea, including convenience stores and supermarkets, have already prepared to adopt the new Apple Pay service. Additionally, some department stores and coffee chains are reportedly in the process of preparing to adopt the NFC terminals. One wonders whether iPhone is like Xerox or Kleenex in Russia. Has the use of the term iPhone replaced the term smartphone the way Xerox has replaced photocopy or Kleenex has replaced tissue? 9 to 5 Mac ran a piece Monday, the headline of which said, in part, Russia bans officials from using iPhones. That cites a Reuters report, which cites a report from the Russian paper Kommersant. Apparently the concern is the 2024 presidential election. The one in Russia, I mean, and worries about spying. In Russia, I mean. According to Reuters, the directive comes because of concerns that the devices are vulnerable to Western intelligence agencies. I'm sorry, hang on, Mr. Kettle? Mr. Kettle, I got Mr. Pot on line 2. I'll take a message. To my question about iPhone and Xerox and Kleenex, oh my. The piece has an unnamed Russian official saying, it's all over for the iPhone. Either throw it away or give it to the children. Disposable, apparently something else iPhone and Kleenex have in common in Russia. As for the more thorough of the bunch, Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov was quoted in the piece saying, smartphones should not be used for official business. Any smartphone has a fairly transparent mechanism, no matter what operating system it has, Android or iOS. Naturally, they are not to be used for official purposes. Or won't be. Mac Rumor says affected individuals have until the 1st of April to ditch their smartphones. Apple TV Plus and Reese Witherspoon's Hello Sunshine seem to have another production in the works. Deadline says the two have won in competition for the rights to the latest book from Seska Major, Maybe Next Time. If you've not heard of that book, don't feel too bad. The piece says it was published 2 weeks ago today here in the States. Comes out in the UK in a little over a week. As for what it's about, Deadline says there is a Groundhog Day element to this one, as a woman relives the same day over, trying to keep her family and career from imploding as she attempts to save her husband's life. As it stands now, this will be a one-shot for Apple and Hello Sunshine, while Witherspoon's production company has guided such Apple TV Plus series as The Last Thing He Told Me, My Kind of Country, Truth Be Told, and The Morning Show. Deadline says Maybe Next Time is being developed as an Apple original film from Apple Studios. And finally today, another piece of Apple history is up for sale, available at a buy-it-now price. 9 to 5 Mac says an award plaque signed by Steve Jobs and presented to an Apple employee in the year 2000 is up for purchase. According to the site, the rare goods website Moments in Time is selling the plaque. 9 to 5 Mac says what's being offered is a 10-year award plaque presented by Apple to former marketing executive Suzanne Lindbergh in 2000. It includes a special note celebrating the 10-year anniversary milestone with an actual Steve Jobs autograph at the bottom. Jobs was notoriously stingy with his signature, which is what makes the plaque both rare and pricey. While Moments in Time says the price is only available on request, it seems TMZ did ask, and they don't mind telling you, $95,000 is the reported price. But hey, no accidentally paying more than that in the heat of a bidding battle. Today on the Mac Observer's Daily Observations podcast, TMO Managing Editor Jeff Butts and I will go a bit deeper into those Counterpoint smartphone numbers, plus a little bit more on the Kremlin's smartphone ban. That is all today on the Daily Observations podcast from the Mac Observer, online at macobserver.com or wherever you get podcasts. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and supported by people like you, patrons through Patreon. Find out more and add your support at patreon.com/macOSKen. facebook.com/macosken. Advertising handle by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macosken.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Cha.